They told me a reporter had no place in a battlefield like Drang. Maybe they were right. But in November of 1965, when the first helicopters lifted off from Play Me, I felt I owed it to every mother and father back home to see what their sons were walking into. I wasn't carrying a rifle, just a camera, a notebook, and the stubborn belief that the truth was worth the risk. When we landed, the world was already on fire. Gunfire tore through the tall elephant grass, and the air was thick with smoke and screams. I remember Sergeant Ernie Savage shouting orders over the chaos, keeping his men alive when everything seemed lost. I dropped low, crawling through the dirt beside them, my camera shaking in my hands. One moment I was taking pictures, the next I was dragging a wounded man to cover, the weight of his blood soaking into my clothes. That's the day I learned that courage isn't something you write about. It's something you witness up close, and it changes you. There was a point where the firing never seemed to stop. The North Vietnamese kept coming in waves, and our artillery answered with thunder that split the earth open. I remember thinking the ground itself was screaming. I watched men I'd talked with over breakfast fall before my eyes by noon. You can't stay detached after that. You just can't. When the shooting finally stopped, I stood among them, young soldiers, most barely old enough to shave, faces gray from exhaustion and loss. I realized then that I wasn't just a reporter anymore. I was a witness to their brotherhood, their fear, their impossible bravery. I had borrowed their courage just to make it out alive. I carried those images home, photographs and memories etched deeper than film grain. I hoped the world would see what I saw, not numbers, not statistics, but boys turned into men in the span of a heartbeat. Some of them never made it home, and I still see their faces every time I close my eyes. I went to Vietnam to tell a story. What I found was a truth so heavy, I've been carrying it ever since.